more is the highest risk-adjusted return. I talked about how diminishing returns are still returns. They're still output, right? The next piece, though, is that change has a fixed cost and a variable reward. All right, so let me explain what that means. So I want you to imagine that this line right here, ooh, nice and wet, how I like it. My markers, calm down, guys. Okay, so I've got this line. This represents your revenue or whatever your current level of activity or output is. Okay, now, what happens is most entrepreneurs, they say, you know what, I'm gonna change something. They think they're gonna change something and things are gonna get better, right? You tweak something, you mess around, you change your page, change your script, change your onboarding process, whatever, right? So then what happens? Well, if there's people involved, typically output will go down. You have to retrain the team, they have to practice, you know, this variable affected 2 other variables you didn't know about. And this is completely based on my observation. You typically get about a 20% decrement or decrease in performance. What ends up happening after that is it might not work and then you stay here, or it might be worse and it goes here, or it might get better and it comes back up eventually, right? And then maybe you have a 5% higher output here. This is now your new baseline. Now, here's the thing. If you have a 20% guaranteed decrease and you have the potential for a 5% increase, do you take that bet? No. But I see entrepreneurs every day, myself included, for many years, taking that bet over and over again because I was like, I just have to get it better. I just have to get it better. But it was a fallacy. It's not true. Sometimes, like, your business will never be perfect and you have to accept that fact. It will not be perfect. And the thing is you don't even know if it's gonna get better. You just aren't sure if it's, quote, good enough, and so you just wanna change it. You wanna mess with it, right? But the magic is the compounding returns you get when you do the same thing over and over again. You get this depth of understanding, this depth of skill that happens with repetition, right? If necessity is the mother of invention, repetition is the father of skill. But let's look at what entrepreneurs will normally do. Maybe they'll start seeing some increase here, but what do they do next? They say, you know what, I've got this other idea I have. And so then they get another 20% decrease. And so they're constantly living significantly below their output means, or your revenue, or whatever your thing is, below what your potential is, because you're constantly changing stuff. And I wanna be real with you for a second. If you're a small business owner, you've got maybe 10, maybe 20 employees, or if you're anything less than that, then like, hear me right now. The amount of resources that you have to implement change are so limited. I pick like one big thing a year that I do, like one. And what happens is when you realize how limited your resources are in order to deploy successfully a new change or a new experiment, what happens is it forces prioritization. It forces you to focus on what things, if I only had one thing that I could do this year, what one thing would I be like, this is the bet I'm gonna take? Well, it certainly wouldn't be a 5% thing, right? Well, maybe if we write handwritten cards, we'll get a 5% increase in referrals, maybe, right? But given those resources, what else could you do? And so when you look at the